Welcome to the Business Shop Podcast, where our guests speak on meeting the challenges of entrepreneurship, as well as offer tips and advice on business, marketing, technology, and more. Whether you are a newbie or a seasoned professional, this episode is for you. I am your host, Audrey Wiggins. Let's chop it up. Hey, Chop Squad. I hope you're doing great, and thank you for listening to the Business Chop. Please remember to subscribe, review, and share this podcast. This episode is about purpose. The guest, Bill Heinrich, the owner of True Life Purpose Now, and you guessed it, he is going to help us thrive versus survive by finding and living our life purpose. Okay, a little bit about Bill. Success isn't always what it seems from the outside, says Bill. He speaks from experience and found success at a very young age. He was living in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and from the outside, everything looked perfect, but something was always missing. Surrounded by material success, with everything in place by normal standards, Bill found himself dissatisfied, and nothing seemed to fill the emptiness inside. No matter how much money he made or how successful he was, he never felt whole. Over the course of time, this feeling got worse, never better, no matter what he did. He remembers about almost 30 years ago that he was so miserable, he walked out the front door to change his life and never looked back. Prior to starting his spiritual transformational path, his life was literally out of control. In Bill's words, dysfunction completely controlled my life, and I was making decisions based on who I wasn't. I was literally walking through life blindfolded. I'm not blindfolded any longer, says Bill. I have cracked the code. With nearly 30 years of research, investigation, and experimentation, I found the answers to allow anyone to live life with passion, purpose, and prosperity. The information that I have discovered is so powerful that it creates a foolproof blueprint to follow that guarantees success. Bill, welcome to the Business Chop.
Thank you very much, Audrey. So nice to be here. So nice to be here.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. And you have to give us that blueprint. But before you do, unpack the dysfunction that made you walk out that door and not look back. That's got to be a powerful story in there.
Well, yeah, I have I am gifted with a tremendous amount of wisdom and ability to get in. I'm able to connect to universal wisdom. Let me put it that way. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but that gives me a perspective on life that's the antithesis of what everybody lives. Because you don't have to work hard. You don't have to do all these things. Okay. Mm-hmm. And as a child, I literally thought I was crazy because I would say things and I was my parents were very devout Catholics. And this is back in the 50s, and don't say that, and just total control and everything based on the church. Mm-hmm. And by the time I was in 5th grade, I literally gave up because I literally gave up. I mean, my grades went down. I repeated the 7th grade. I just didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got to the point, because at that point, my belief was, if everything they're telling me is true, I'm going to purgatory for 7,000 or 8,000 years, and I'm going right to hell, so because I couldn't do anything right. So I figured if I was going to go to hell, I'd have fun on the way there. That's the way I looked at it, literally. I literally thought I was crazy in the sense there's just no way I fit in ever. And so I ended up, I bought a business at a very young age, but I spent my whole life getting people to like me. And I would be a chameleon to get that. I have a tremendous sense of humor, which I used to hide behind. I'm really funny. I don't tell any more jokes because because I used to hide behind them.
Right, right.
And my life was up and down. By the time I was 30, I was a millionaire. By the time I was 32, I was broke. But it was just crazy. And then we moved. I lived on the East Coast, and we moved out west in 1979. And there was nothing inside me.
Okay, I get it.
I was made up of, I call myself the sticky note kid. Everybody do this, do that. Well, I had all these sticky notes all over me about how I'm supposed to live according to social policing. And finally, in my mid 40s, one night I was in a relationship. She had a son, and I just got into this rage for a moment. Mm-hmm. And this voice came in my head and went, "Bill, this isn't you," and it was so clear, Audrey.
Wow. And
I just stopped, and I went upstairs and sat down, and I have no idea now, as I look back on it, what it was that got me. I was up to the bedroom for about 10 minutes sitting there, and I was just like, I have got to go find out why I'm so miserable. Mm. And I literally at that point said, all right, God, I'm yours. I'm going out the front door. Huh. I don't know where you're going to take me, but it can't be any worse than where I am now. Mm-hmm. And I literally said to the woman I'm in, I said, I'm just so miserable. I've got to go find out why. Of course, she thought I was blaming her, which there's nothing further from the truth.
Right.
I walked out the door and I never came back. Right. I mean, literally just was so committed to find the answers, and went through. Well, I did a lot of things, that was in December, and I rented a room from a friend. I just spent time just working on myself, dissecting myself. And I found out right away two things. There was nothing inside me. Mm-hmm. And my number one problem was I spent my entire life defensively.
That's key.
Well, that's the root of all evil. Mm-hmm. Period.
Okay.
It's the reason it is because not only was I protecting the stories inside me, I was still protecting the people I was so angry at, my parents and everybody else. And, and if they said black, I'd go white at that point, because I was just like, I don't care, I'm rebelling.
Right.
And I had this realization that because I was rebelling, they still had control over me.
Yep. That's interesting.
I wasn't making choices. I was reacting.
Yeah.
But the first thing I found out was about being defensive, about how I protected everything. And that was 2 weeks after I stepped out the door, and I had this burning bush moment where I just saw that I had lost that whole piece of my life because I was defensive. There was nothing authentic about it.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. There were experiences, but I wasn't there.
It was a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I started looking. My quest was to live without any doctrine. In other words, to learn to just live from within.
Okay.
I don't want to hear from you or anybody else, any religions, nothing about how I'm supposed to live. I want to figure this out myself. And I want to have the ability to make responsible, loving choices. Okay. That's the way I would describe them now. I couldn't describe them that way then because I had no idea where the hell I was going.
Right.
I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how it was going to end up. And I just kept doing more and more research. And then about 8 or 9 months, 10 months into it, I learned about our life lessons. And when I learned about our life lessons and I saw my life lessons. I saw my entire life described, literally described me. And I went, wow, I'm not crazy. There it is right there. There's every challenge that I've been living to the hilt. So now I had a blueprint about my life lessons and where most of my suffering was going to come from. And I really started analyzing and looking at that. There's 38 different life lesson paths. And in each path, there's literally millions of different combinations of, depending upon the lessons.
Okay.
Everybody has them. You have life lessons. You are living with a blind spot. You have come here. These lessons are about healing our soul, about fulfilling our destiny, our purpose. And nobody knows about them. I mean, I've been coaching and working with people over 15 years, and I take them through a process that, like, just in the first 3 meetings blows their minds. And they're just incredibly excited because what everybody wants really is authentic responsibility. They want to know who the hell they are, where they are, and how to make great choices in life. That's what everybody wants. And to be lovable and to be able to love.
Yes, without guilt.
So many, many things evolved through this course. What I learned was I'm an energetic empath. I have a very innate understanding of energy, how energy works, how it works in the physical. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to live your life purpose, it is not what you do. Let me repeat that.
Okay.
Oh, I do this and it's my purpose. No, it isn't. Your life purpose is the energy behind every thought, word, and action. Always coming from a place of love for the benefit of all involved.
Yeah, say that again.
Your life purpose is to be in a position where you can be of service from a place of love for the benefit of all involved, regardless of the outcome in the physical. It doesn't matter how serious the situation is, how minor it is. You step in with a place of love and you can transcend it. And you'll live peacefully, joyfully, and you'll also be an incredible energetic magnet, because you know as well as I do that like attracts like. That only applies to energy. Think about it. Think about people that you've met and just go, oh, I like you.
Yeah.
It's not an intellectual decision, is it?
No, it's a feeling.
It's an energy.
Okay.
Right? So since then, the last 15 years, I've been working with CEOs, executives, business owners. I've got, people from the age of 23 to 70 in my super conscious mastermind. And because it works for everybody, so I'm just not exclusively for executives and CEOs. I want to be really clear about that.
Okay.
But here's what I learned. No matter what you do in life, any business owners listening, you are in that business to heal your soul, not to make money. This is totally contrary to what everyone believes. Because the more you heal your soul, the more abundance will be around you. They go together. And you get out of judgment, blame, shame, guilt, and just be there of service from a place of love and watch what happens. It's incredible what happens. So to break it down, you talked about surviving and thriving. And that's the easiest thing, I think, for me to anchor for people. Everybody's surviving. What people are focused on, their main purpose in life is to get to death safely.
That's interesting.
Think about it. It's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I mean, I could be retired. I'm doing this the rest of my life. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to empower others so they can go empower others. That is literally my purpose on earth. And when you look at surviving only takes place in your physical life.
Okay.
It doesn't take place in your spiritual or non-physical life, because on the non-physical side, you're touching infinity, communicating with all that is. You want to call it God, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it the big banana in the sky, call it whatever you want. The universe runs everything.
Mm-hmm.
Earth is part of the universe, and the universe only runs on a vibration.
So how do we find our life purpose?
Well, the first step is to clearly understand what I'm explaining now. Okay. Otherwise, you'll never get it. It'll never happen. It's impossible.
Okay.
You will never find your life purpose in the physical. Your life purpose is in the non-physical. That feeling you had when you connected with that person is like, hey, I want to know you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That feeling that you had is pure truth. When you made that choice to meet that person, you were not disappointed, were you?
No.
You never will be, because you're listening to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart is the catalyst that runs the non-physical side. Your head is what is used in the physical. You use it for logic. The problem with it is when you're stuck in survival, you do everything from your head.
Yeah, and
here's what.
Oh,
what's that?
I was going to say, here comes the negative self-talk. Yeah.
Everything in the physical is negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's limitation. The best you'll get out of your physical life, focusing on the physical, the very best you'll ever get is lack of clarity, work, when you only focus in the physical. That's guaranteed. And here's why. Because your mind and your ego can only access the past, and the only interest of your mind and your ego is to protect you. And what you're protecting are the stories inside of you that are creating the energy that make you feel so bad.
Wow. And how long is it going to take for us to tap into that power?
Well,
my goodness.
It's transformation at the speed of choice.
Okay.
You need awareness. With awareness, you have options. But when you look at it, there's only two emotions. Okay? That's it. What do you think they are? There's only two emotions.
I would say love is one.
Mm-hmm.
And what would be the other one? Anger?
Well, it would be it's a byproduct. It's fear.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Fear. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Can you find fear in the non-physical, in your spiritual life?
I would say no.
Absolutely not.
No.
Your heart can't create fear.
Mm-hmm.
Let me repeat that. Your heart cannot create fear. Mm-hmm. It can feel fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that fear comes from the stories and the protection. So if you really want to live your life purpose, your path in life is how you feel. There's nothing in the physical world but you, Audrey.
Okay.
Everything you see is you. Let me repeat that. The world is a mirror. Because of our subconscious and the depth of what was piled on us as we were infants and growing with the people of authority around us. Where did you grow up, by the way?
Cleveland, Ohio City.
Okay, I grew up in Burlington, Vermont. Mm-hmm. See, we have totally different backgrounds at totally different times in totally different places.
Yep.
But we had the same emotional experience, Audrey.
Okay.
We can connect on sadness. We can connect. If you want to talk about anger, we can talk about that. I used to be very angry. The story's different, but the energy's the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's the same vibration. So here's what's interesting. This is a fact. Fear knocked on the door and love answered. No one was there.
Oh my goodness.
What does that tell you?
Gosh, that sounds like emptiness.
They can't coexist. Fear and love cannot coexist. When you respond with love, it wipes out the fear.
Cancels it out. Yeah.
Gone. The fear is
I didn't get it at first. Okay. I didn't catch it at first, but yeah. Okay.
The fear is a total illusion. Your mind cannot come to the present moment. It's impossible. Your mind can only access the past. You follow that?
Yeah.
In the present moment, only your heart has to be present, where you're empathetic, compassionate, and listening and understanding that we're all different. And whatever I'm saying or doing, it's just where I am on my spiritual path today. And the same is true for the person sleeping under the bridge. The same is true for you. Everybody's different. And when you're in the physical, okay, if I'm in the physical with Audrey, let's see, she lives in Cleveland, different, I'm sitting here measuring, judging, comparing, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just loving. Knowing that you're a perfect human being who has messages you want to share with people, and you're making this contribution. It's a very beautiful thing. The purpose here is not to sell anything. The purpose here is not for me to get anything. I am only here to give. That's it. I'm here to give so that people can get more awareness. So all of your power and all of your potential is where?
In our hearts.
In the non-physical. It's not in the physical. What's in the physical is a manifestation of the energy inside of you right now. It's what you're creating with your energy. Whether it's your house, your job, your car, your kids, you're creating it. And is the energy one of survival, or is it one of just love and connection, knowing that everything will be perfect? There's such a huge difference between the two dimensions.
So this fear is what's blocking us from finding our life purpose?
Really, the biggest thing that blocks people is the fear of change. It's like, I've got a good job and, my family's okay. And I mean, this isn't great, that isn't great, but I'm not going to throw this all away to take some crazy ass journey, like I know what I've got and I'm just going to protect this and go on. I run into that all the time, because people are afraid of their power. Imperfection is really the most exciting thing in life, because it means we're learning something.
Okay.
Because we're here to learn lessons. And that's how you get clarity. Because of our life lessons, people just have these huge blind spots. And I mean complete blind spots, where they can be standing in the middle of it and they're like doing something that is the opposite of the support that's needed in the moment, thinking they're doing the very best thing, because they just don't have any, let me give you something. I'm just trying to think of a couple. I've got a young man right now who his life lessons are all around freedom and discipline. He's got all these stories in his head. He feels if he's disciplined, he'll lose his freedom. It's all contorted because this is his life lesson. He's just got this thing that's like this crazy stories around it. But the truth of the matter is, when we're born and you're born with those life lessons, it's like being born without a limb. In other words, if you're born, you only have one arm, like You just adjust and go through life, and like that's what life is like.
Right.
That's all you know.
Yep.
Well, when you're born and you have lessons to learn about freedom and discipline, the vacancy of that information causes you to make choices in survival that do nothing but create problems.
And that is not freedom.
and it is not freedom. And everybody has these life lessons. Mm-hmm. So for business owners, your business, your personal life, everything you choose to do is to learn your lessons. And when I work with clients and they see this, it just blows their mind. They're like, this is so accurate. It's crazy. And then they can start making choices. But it takes awareness, and you have to be open-minded. You can't be defensive. No one can work with me that's defensive. I just kick them off the bus. Because I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. Mm-hmm. I can change a person's life in 1 hour. And I guarantee it, because of what I've learnd. And I've done it many, 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 many times over 15 years, many times. In fact, in my super conscious mastermind,
yes,
I do a 30-day free trial for people. Okay. And the way the free trial works is real simple. You pay to join, you have 30 days to try it. If you go, not for me, I just give you your money back.
Okay.
Real simple. Okay. So they're safe. And I don't know, because everybody says, what's going to happen? And I tell them all the same thing. I don't have any idea. I don't know who you are inside yet, and I don't know what choices you're going to make.
Right.
I will know. And even when I know, and when I create the blueprint for you, I can't make choices for you.
Right. We have to open the door.
You have to open the door.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Once you do, I've so many people. A woman I met with the other day filled out an application to be in my group. Just too terrified. And I'm like, perfect. Been nice talking to you. Mm-hmm. See you later. Like, then I'm not here to convince you, and I don't even want your money. Like, if you're in that position, I don't even want to see you. What I explained to her, and this is true for anybody listening, and I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm here to share with you what I've learned, and everything I'm telling you is 1,000% accurate, because it's all based on a vibration. It's not intellect. This is not my opinion. It's scientifically proven that everything in the universe is a vibration.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when you're angry, how's your vibration?
Bad.
When you're judging yourself, how's your vibration?
Bad. It's negative. Mm-hmm.
When you're judging others, how's your vibration? When you're in fear of loss, of a relative, of money, of whatever, how's your vibration?
Nope, it's the same. And where I want to like be inside, and
this is the insanity. The hallucinations created by fear. They're hallucinations, false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
When you're in your heart, coming from a place of love, you're just in the moment. And every energy that I'm using at this moment is 1,000% in support of my intentions that I'm creating, because I'm moving to a higher vibration. Because the universe is in a constant state of expansion. The universe is in a constant state of organic expansion. When you're surviving, you are blocking all of that expansion, because your focus isn't on expansion, it's on acquiring material things. The thing that will lead you, the fastest way to learn your life purpose and live it is come work with me. I can take you there so fast, it's crazy. Really, it's very fast.
Okay. How can we get in touch with you then, Bill?
Just go to speaktobill.com and fill out an application for a 20-minute clarity session.
Okay.
That's it. Speaktobill.com. True Life Purpose Now. Also, my book, The 7 Levels of Truth, is available on Amazon and goes through everything that I've talked about. It just changes your life instantly. Instantly. We're just bundles of love down here terrified.
That was episode 1 with Bill Heinrich. I look forward to sharing episode 2 with you. Take care. In the meantime, let's live our life on purpose. Thank you for listening to The Business Shop. We hope that you were able to glean valuable information from our guest and that you will download and share this podcast. Your rating and review is much appreciated. To go deeper with our guests, please visit their website and social channels. To learn more about us, please visit businesschop.info or altogether.biz, where we will help you expand your brand.